64. When a human being of superior virtues and superior knowledge appears, even the most uneducated and most poor must not be prevented from speaking with them, because no human being is more or less than any other. 65. If a human being is caught up in sorrow, then they should be sorrowful without being afflicted, because honest sorrow testifies to decency, honor in dignity, and respect. However, affliction reveals the overvaluing of oneself and self-pity. 66. A profoundly virtuous behavior reveals the excellence of a human being. Whoever does not recognize that goes around with open eyes but blind. A human being without virtue, decency, honor in dignity, respect, truth, uprightness, and knowledge is neither able to honestly and correctly fulfill an office, nor bear hardship, harshness, or honest, joyful relationships. 68. The virtuous one must neither wallow nor rest in their virtues, because one attained virtue provokes the next, which is why the wise one also continuously desires more virtues. 69. As it is with the wise one, a virtuous human being who is also educated in truth and knowledge knows no hate. 70. Once the human being turns in truth's form to virtue, truth, and knowledge, and goes unswervingly on this way, then no kind of depravity is able to arise in them any more. 71. The human being strives for wealth and dignity, but whoever is not able to obtain these in an honest way should distance themselves from them, in order to first learn truth and knowledge, as well as the necessary virtues, according to which the human being is assessed, appreciated, and rewarded. 72. Poverty is no disgrace, even though the human being does not like it. Indeed, it is better to live in poverty, honesty, decency, and in respect from one's fellow human beings, than to be disregarded, harmed, hated, and insulted by them. 73. If it is not possible for a human being to obtain appropriate wealth in an honest, kind, and wise way, then they should not avoid modesty, and should be satisfied with that which is possible for them to acquire. 74. When a knowing one indulges in fine virtues, then they can no longer ever satisfy the dull demands of the unvirtuous, because a knowing one does not act against truth, knowledge, and virtue, even for the shortest time. And even in a moment of danger and haste, they hold fast to their principles. 75. Virtues are forms of decency and of fair life, according to creational, natural laws and recommendations. Virtues or unvirtues can neither be loved nor hated, because were the virtues loved, then a further development would no longer progressively occur, and all evolution would run aground, because in the love for virtues one would remain and stagnate, and were the unvirtues hated, then the human being would only live according to their virtues, and would refuse access to that which is unvirtuous, whereby no equalization between negative and positive could come about, and no kind of evolution could occur anymore. 76. A willing human being is able to live virtuously at any time, because it does not happen that the powers for that would be inadequate. 77. The errors of the human being are characteristic of their knowledge and love of the truth. Consequently, through the errors, their level of knowledge and love of the truth are recognized. 78. If the human being could experience the entire knowledge and all truth of their entire evolution to the point of relative absolute fulfillment, then they would require neither learning, nor rebirth, nor life at all. Therefore, they would neither have to be born, nor live and die. 79. A human being whose senses indeed turn to knowledge, however not to the truth, is ashamed of poverty, shabby clothing, impoverished housing, meagre food, and of talk about their standing and their life. 80. With everything that a truth-loving and truly knowing human being comes across, they do not decide for or against, and therefore they do not quarrel negatively with the accounted things. Rather, they fathom the truth in order to follow it alone and do what is right and decent, because a wise one does not condemn. Rather, they research for the truth and assess it in all values, in order to let their word be followed in accord with it, in decency. 81. The truly knowing one thinks about their virtues and their spiritual and consciousness-based progress, while the unknowing one only thinks about their comfort. And the truly knowing one thinks about the fulfillment of the creational natural laws and recommendations, while the unknowing one only thinks of pretexts, deviations and perquisites which could only bring them benefit and profit. 82. A human being who, with their thinking and actions, always has only their advantage and profit in mind, will never choose an honest form of life, but instead earns much vexation, resentment, ununderstanding, and hate. 83. It will go well for the human being when they form their life according to the creational natural laws and recommendations, and in consonance with behavior fundamental to decency. If the creational natural laws and recommendations and the rules of decency are not kept, then both hardship and dissatisfaction arise, as well as reluctance, complaint, conflict, and discord. 84. If a human being is not able to live with the behavior of the creational natural laws and recommendations, as well as with good virtues in truth and knowledge and in good decency, then they cannot say that they live life.